Yeah, I think that tech-forward bio companies think about platform in a very different way than I think, Chaz, you're characterizing East Coast platform companies, and that's absolutely right. If you look at companies like Moderna or Juno, these are platform companies. They have multiple assets. They have a core mechanism within biology that they believe in and that they're commercializing across a wide set of indications. So that to me is a platform, but it's not a tech-driven platform. And that's the main difference. Is the way I ask it sometimes when I meet companies is, are you advancing, commercializing a core biological insight or a technological or digital insight, right? Like those are very different. If you believe that you found some underlying mechanism of a disease, or you're inventing a new class of vaccines, those are biological insights that can generate platforms. The West Coast, if you will, type of companies that I tend to work with, they're not coming out of academic labs with a kernel of biological insight. That's really not how they get started. Their insight is around systems and around the application of data science in these problems. So that's what I like to call computational biology, just to emphasize that the computation piece is critical. It has to be included. And essentially, computational biology is the application of data science to explore biological questions in a way that investigates, interrogates biology without relying on forming and then subsequently testing biological hypotheses. So the way that computational biology works is to rapidly move through the syn-bio stages, where you're designing a set of experiments, you're building the experiments out, you run and test the experiments in a wet lab, like in biological space, and then you take the results of those tests back into digital space to learn and generate the next set of experiments. So that loop with machine learning right in the middle is the core of computational biology. And what it looks like is a search method through biology, where some of the experiments that you design can be random. They don't have to be informed by precedent, and they don't have to be informed by any sort of biological hypothesis. And if you can run through that cycle fast enough, cheap enough, then that evolves the answer faster than thinking about the problem and rationalizing the problem to find a solution. So that's how I think about computational biology. And something that's important to note here is that entire framework hinges on the quality and the characteristics of the test phase. So you're only as good as your assay, and the speed of your experiment, the cost of each experiment, and essentially the quality of signal capture from the experiment. Those three characteristics are ultimately the atomic unit of the whole company. The extrapolation of those characteristics make up the platform efficiency, capital needs, and all of the emergent properties of each comp bio company is ultimately a representation of that core assay unit. So I like to dive in and understand that unit because it's the bounding box for the entire